All right. Well, we want to thank you, Tammy, for being a part of this presentation today. We were thrilled to make the decision for you to be the recipient of our Marsha Moers Community Advocate of the Year. We couldn't think of a more well-deserving individual, so we want to first thank you for being such an amazing advocate for people with disabilities.
Thank you so much. You know, it's such an honor. I was so surprised, and it's so meaningful. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, no, it's our pleasure, certainly. And as you probably know, this is the year where we're celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And so we've had some activities planned this week, and so we wanted to add this presentation of the award into our activities in honoring the ADA. And so what I'm curious to kind of get the conversation going is you are the president and CEO of Origami, and I would like to have you just share a little bit about what Origami does and maybe some of the projects and initiatives that you have going on there.
Sure, I'd love to do that. You know, Origami is a Lansing-based nonprofit organization. We're located, just in the proximity of Disability Network, really, a short drive away. We opened in 1997 because of a joint venture between Michigan State University and Peckham Incorporated. Those two nonprofits recognized a need in our communities, so they came together and created Origami, and both entities are still very much involved with Origami. We specialize in neurological rehab, so that means we work with individuals that have traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord injuries, stroke, Parkinson's, anything neurological really. And we serve adolescents and adults through our comprehensive services. We have a wide array of specialty and professional rehab services. And we have outpatient and residential programming. So throughout our continuum of care, really what our mission is to create opportunities and to transform lives. And that's what we do every single day at Origami. As far as various projects and initiatives, we have a lot going on. Certainly, first and foremost, I can't ignore the fact that we're in the middle of a pandemic. And so our number one initiative, our concentration is really continuing to navigate this pandemic and keeping our priorities of employee health, client health, and our financial health for the organization all top of mind with everything that we're doing. We also just kicked off this week a really exciting project that is going to be approximately a 14-week high engagement process of establishing Origami's core values. We have a strong mission, a strong vision. We've always been a very value-centered organization, but we haven't come up with our common language and how we articulate the core values that inspire us. So we kicked off the discovery process just this week, and I can't imagine a better time and opportunity to engage in this project with so many changes. Our primary funding source changing, the pandemic challenges, as well as certainly the increased national attention on social justice and Origami recognizing that we need to play a part. So the Core Values Project is super exciting for our team right now. And lastly, I also have to mention that a continued initiative that's been around for Origami and will continue for years to come is our advocacy for maximizing access to care. There are still far too many barriers for individuals who need our help. And so we're constantly, educating and fundraising and engaging in community outreach to help individuals get the care that they need when they need it.
Thank you for sharing that detail. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome, Tammy. So you've done a lot to represent the needs of individuals at Origami and what the recent changes in auto insurance means for the insured. Could you tell us a little bit more about that and your advocacy efforts?
Yeah, I would love to speak to that. That's a huge hot topic for me and for origami and for our industry, for the neurological rehab industry throughout the state of Michigan. So just a very brief summary for those who may not realize, but since 1970s, early 1970s, Michigan drivers have long enjoyed having unlimited personal injury protection as part of their auto insurance policy. And as of this month, it has changed. There was a bill that was signed into law last June that had an effective date of July of 2020. And what it means now is when any Michigan driver goes to renew their auto insurance policy, they now have an option of reducing that coverage in hopes to save a few dollars. And that's very concerning for me and for our industry, because we see what happens when people don't have the coverage needed following a catastrophic car accident. Nobody ever plans on needing the services that we provide. Nobody ever plans on being in a catastrophic injury. And certainly money talks when you're making decisions, right? You try to go for the least expensive option. But my concern is people are going to make that decision and they won't be as informed as what they should be when they're making that decision. So, you know, as I'm currently the board chair of the Brain Injury Association of Michigan, and I've long served on the board of directors for the coalition Protecting Auto No Fault. And so I'm used to engaging in statewide advocacy efforts, but you know, never before has advocacy been more important. We're trying to really help educate Michigan drivers that you should have unlimited coverage for your personal injury protection, and you need to maximize your liability insurance. Those are critical decisions that you need to make for you and your family at this time. And the reason I say that is commercial health insurance, Medicare, Medicaid, none of those funders or funding sources provide the level of coverage that you need to get the care that you need to get back to work, get back to driving, get back to school, return home after a catastrophic injury. So that's a huge thing I'm advocating for right now, along with several other individuals throughout the state in the industry.
Wow. You know,
Yeah.
Tammy,
Yeah.
you was just such a great advocate out there. And I think when we think about advocacy, you've been very strong in your efforts in advocating for the disability community. But what words of advice or thoughts would you give to share with others who want to become an advocate and or more involved in important issues like you've been involved in?
Sure, Mark. You know, I recommend follow your why. Advocating is all about being passionate and knowledgeable about your purpose. You know, I consider myself to be a lifelong disability advocate, and my passion derives really from having an older brother, Jeff, with a lifelong disability. He has cerebral palsy. And so I was born and raised watching my brother with a disability have challenges, right? And I watched him make progress and defeat all odds, defeat the prognosis that medical professionals gave him. And it's in my blood, it's in my veins, it runs deep in terms of really advocating for individuals with disability, because I see the benefits for those who have access to the resources and supports they need to be able to be their greatest self, to be able to have the best quality of life possible. And so I recommend anybody that you just need to make sure you know your why, and that keeping your focus on the why provides the clarity that you need. And number one, you know, to drive change and to really positively impact that change, you have to have grit. That I love that word because it says so much. You know, it's all about persistence and courage, relationship building, knowing your subject matter, and a whole lot of passion that goes into advocating. And when one door closes, it doesn't mean that you don't keep knocking.
Wow. Very well said. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, Tammy, again, we couldn't think of a more deserving individual for this award. And do you have the plaque there with you?
I do. It's
Okay,
beautiful.
can you hold it up just to show the camera?
Do you see it okay?
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much. This means so much. When I received the call and I was told about this award, Marsha's efforts are well known for a lot of us in this industry, right? And
Yeah.
it's just such an honor to receive this, to be thought of in this way. And so I really appreciate the recognition, and I really appreciate all that Disability Network continues to do too, to advocate in this community and statewide.
Well, we so appreciate that. And you brought up a good point that I don't think I fully explained in the beginning. Marsha Moers, for those who may not know who she was, she worked at the center for many, many years, and I would consider her to be a champion, a tireless advocate, feisty as all get out. And so when she passed, we felt to honor her legacy by naming this award after her. So yeah.
Okay.
It's really special.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Tammy.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Tammy.
It's good seeing all of
Yes.
you.